we talked about some of the highs and we discussed some things before we did this. We're gonna discuss some of the lows. So as you start to build your name and you really getting out there and you date DJ Teddy. First of all, how'd you get the name DJ Teddy?
When I first started, I had so many whack DJ names. I had a new name every day, and I just couldn't think of anything. Um, Years later, me and my cousin Trey, we started throwing parties in high school, and I was DJing the parties, and I still didn't have a DJ name. And my man Lawrence Smalls, shout out to DJ Smalls. He used to make our flyer
Oh yeah.
here.
The
He Everybody knew Teddy was Teddy had always kind of been my nickname, but I never even thought to make that my DJ name. And I asked him out to make the flyer for a event we had coming up, and when he sent the flyer back, he put music by DJ Teddy on the ones and twos on it, and I was like,
stuck from that.
yeah, I was like, "That's kinda high." I liked it, you know what I'm saying? And, yeah, so I just kinda rolled with that. King of the Streets, that came from the mixtape era.
Yeah.
DJ Scream, he was heavy in the streets. Don Cannon, DJ Drama, Mr. Thanksgiving, everybody had like a mean tag. So I just thought I needed like a hot tag, and I kind of came up with King of the Streets. I thought that was dope.
That's what's up.
It is. It fits you.
But like I said, so those are the highs. So as you starting to your buzz is getting bigger, you really getting out there, tragedy kind of strikes. You want to speak on that?
Yeah. When I was first kind of getting going good back in 2012, my grandfather he passed away suddenly. It was just kind of shocking. It was a blow to the family because
So
yeah,
all of us, RP off
yeah,
of that.
RP pops, man. I miss you, man. He wasn't really sick. He just kind of went to bed and just didn't wake up. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that was tough. And then that was in June of 2012, and then fast forward to October of 2013. I came home from a gig, and my mom she had passed away. Again, just kind of suddenly. Um, it was tough.
RP sis.
RP to mom, dudes. I miss you, baby. I love you. It was tough, you know what I'm saying? But I know that they both in a better place. And again, just that it was so sudden. That's the part that
Yes, yes,
it's hard to kind of wrap my
yeah.
mind around.
I don't mean to make it too personal, but I remember getting the calls on both of those.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, we had to clean out Uncle Dave's room, and that was hard for y'all. We really family. So
Really family.
yeah, you're real. Yeah, had to find Uncle Dave's room, and when sis, that was rough for all of us. But how did that really affect you? And you kind of took a hiatus for a bit, right?
Nah, that really didn't come until a few years later. So rewind a little bit. My grandpa was my biggest fan DJing. Like this man, I can't recall one time that he ever asked me to turn the music down.
Yeah, you had it back there in the room, and it was in. Oh, I'm talking too much.
You good? Go ahead. Go ahead.
It was in the back room, and you could hear it all the way at the house, at Seal House, at our. You could hear the music, and we be walking down here, and Uncle Dave be sitting in the living room, like like ain't nothing being played, like he watching TV.
And I used to come out and ask, "Hey, I could turn this down if you want me to." He'd be like, "Man," he told me one time, he was like, "It makes me feel good to know I'd rather you be back there making noise than out there in the streets making noise." So,
That's right.
man, like, all right,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So
But so he didn't say he turned down.
nah, he was my biggest fan DJing, and my mom at the time, she was a fan, but my mom was a teacher. My mom was
Exactly.
as about as traditional as a woman from Pittsburgh could be, and
That's what. Right. Man,
man,
she used to kill that.
R.I.P. Mom Deuce, man. She was like super duper traditional by the book. She had me when she got pregnant with me at 19, had me at 20. She dropped out of school at A&T to have me, took a couple years off, went back and graduated cum laude. And that was like her story, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So she used to just drill this into me as a kid, like, and as I'm getting older and I'm kind of becoming the early version of DJ Teddy. I'm really feeling myself at an early age. Like I'm into this. Like I've always kind of been the same person. You know what I'm saying? Even in high school, like I thought that this was who I was destined to be. It looked a little crazy back then. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't.
Yeah, we told you though. We always told
Always gave me
yeah,
encouragement, and I always appreciated it, but she always wanted me to just lock in on school and on my studies and backup plan, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my cousin Trey, he had his, you know what I'm saying, athletics going for him in multiple sports, but
FU.
Yes.
yeah, shout out to cuz, but at the same time, she always used to stress to him, "Hey, make sure you got the school in part straight too," you know what I'm saying? And that's what she wanted for me, but as I'm leaning into DJing, I'm kinda slacking up on the academics, and she, of course, was the first person to notice. She's a teacher. She was 15, 20 years in at this point, and we really butted heads on the DJ thing. She just she didn't really understand how passionate I was about it, and then respectfully, at this time, shout out to Drake Powell, shout out to Tobias Palmer, shout out to Auburn Trey Chandler, shout out to all these people from Pittsboro who have gone on to accomplish great things, you know what I'm saying, outside of high school, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
The local scene, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
They took it to shout out to Drake Powell and Tobias again and
yeah.
Cuz for all doing,
Local legends in Northwoods high school
Right.
sports.
but then took it to
Another level.
arena
Yeah.
football, the NFL, the NBA, you know what I'm saying? So I always knew that it was possible, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm looking at Tobias, I'm like, man, used to walk the halls with this dude, you know what I'm saying?
Guy playing the state and
You
playing it.
and then he went on to the league. I'm
Yeah.
like, bruh, this can happen. Now again, you know, my mom, she like, man, go to school, like focus on school. And we really butted heads on that. But eventually she went with me to a gig one night and she saw a lot of her peers, a lot of her classmates, a lot of people she hadn't seen in years. She didn't know who I had really turned myself into, you know what I'm saying, out in the public eye, in our community.
Yeah.
And when I took her with me to that gig, it was a lady from the area. It was her birthday party, and I took her with me, and she just saw all these people that she knew giving me recognition, and you know what I'm saying, like, nah, we know Teddy. Teddy, your son, like, she like, how you know these people? I be seeing them at all the parties. I be DJing the parties.
Yeah.
I'm like, how you know them? She's like, nigga, I went to school with these people. So after then, she kinda just eased up on me and kinda let me do my thing, and, one of my last text messages, that in our thread before she passed away, I sent her a picture of the Luke Nasty, the rapper,
Yeah.
the singer. So he was a DJ before he blew up as a rapper.
Yeah. Yeah.
I opened up for him one night
I remember
at
that.
Club Allure in 2013, and, the DJ booth used to be, like, way up in the air, and you could see the whole club, like, when the people would come in, they would look like ants, they would be so small down there and on the dance floor, and I was like, "Man," like, I sent her a picture of the club empty when I first got up there and I set up, and, she was like, "I love you, DJ Teddy, kill him tonight, go in, you gonna do great," and, that was, like, the last message in our thread, so I just kinda always hold on to that memory, but yeah, yeah, so I know that was a long-winded answer, I just started to
No,
say it off.
but you good. But
Good.
so what made you take the hiatus?
It was a lot of things going on. Music had started to change. Um, I was getting a little older. Well, not older in a sense, but I had turned 20.
You still in your
I know. I had just turned 25. I wouldn't necessarily, I knew I wasn't a kid anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I was kind of just struggling with my whole thing was for a long time. I'm like, I'm the youngest DJ doing it, blah, blah, blah. But at 25, am I really? You know what I'm
ain't the
saying?
youngest no more.
I'm not the youngest no more, and that was really starting to bother me. The way that I DJ, I came up in the late '90s, early 2000s for real, like with music, just kind of made us all who we are. I feel like from if you in my generation, and I wasn't getting booked for the parties that I wanted to get booked for. I wasn't getting booked by the people that I wanted to get booked by. I didn't feel like I was performing in front of the crowds that I wanted to perform in front of, and it was getting kinda frustrating. I didn't feel like I was making the money that I wanted to make. My family was kinda in a transitional period, you know what I'm saying? My grandmother, her health was starting to kinda, you know, decline a little bit. Just a lot was
A
going
lot
on.
of major
Yeah,
factors.
just a lot was going
No,
on, and the hardest thing to do when you got all this going on is to just sit still for 4 hours, to stand in one place and DJ a party, like
yeah.
I started to kinda feel like the sad clown for lack of better words, like, You the clown at the birthday party. It's your job to make sure everybody's smiling and having a good time, but you're not even
You're
you're not even there.
fine.
So you just going through the motions. So
Basically, you lost passion.
I did. I didn't have the drive for it no more, and I felt like it was starting to kind of show. I felt like it was starting to kind of bleed into my performances a little bit. So I didn't I didn't burn the house down. I never said I'm not DJing no more. I didn't go online and make a grand
You didn't
exit.
retire.
I didn't retire. I didn't do nothing. I just let the calendar dry up. I just kind of quit answering the phone as much. If somebody called, hey, I want to book you for next month, man, I'm already booked. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So I just kind of let everything just kind of dry up on its own, and I went back to school.